I want to talk to you about anxiety today. So, we all have anxiety in our lives. How do you know when it's really becoming a problem? How do you know when it's not just your personality, but it's actually something that is prohibiting you from doing the things you love or having peace or even better health in your life? I'm reading a book right now, and it's called From Panic to Power by Lucinda Bassett. And it's just really kind of helped me see anxiety in a lot of different ways, a lot of different reframes for myself. And I think it was very interesting. So I wanted to tell you a little bit. So I've always had anxiety in my life. I've always known that I've had anxiety. And part of it is I thought part of things I was experiencing with anxiety were just my personality. Like, wow, so much energy, so much vitality. Some of that is anxiety coming from an anxious place. So knowing that helps me to take a breath and relax and be able to come authentically from energy, my own life energy, rather than a reaction of an anxious energy. So let me tell you a couple of ways that you can kind of recognize things that are anxiety that you may not know are anxiety. Do you ever have obsessive thoughts about things? Not compulsive, but just obsessive. Like somebody says something to you and it triggers you the wrong way. And you think about it a lot. What about you're making excuses for things that you want to do, but you don't do them? So you are constantly putting things off, or I'm not going to do that now, or why are you doing that? Are you making your life smaller? Is your life getting smaller because of the excuses that you're making to keep you out of things or away from certain situations? What about toxic people? Are there people in your life that are toxic or that aren't positive relationships, but down deep on an unconscious level, there's something they provide for you, and therefore you are afraid to change that pattern or not have those people in your life? Kind of a fear of rejection or a fear of not having that safety net or what they provide for you. So those are some probably unconscious things that you don't even know you're doing. What's really interesting to me is that so much of anxiety is from subconscious thought. So there's all these subconscious thoughts and you're just reacting to them and responding to them, right? But it does create a physical response. And this is kind of what's newer for me. The physical response is kind of like a fight or flight. So if you come up with something in your brain that subconsciously even you think you have to be afraid of, your body goes into kind of fight or flight response. Kind of a trauma response actually, but it's fight or flight. So it drops a lot of cortisol, right? The blood rushes to your major organs. So here's some symptoms that you might have, and I've had these, that your hands and feet might be numb or tingly sometimes. Your stomach aches a lot because you are there's energy leaving your stomach and going to other major organs. Your heart beats fast. Your heart's a little irregular sometimes, or you have a hard time catching your breath or breathing deeply. There's a lot of these kind of symptoms that when they happen, your body has to recover from them. So if you don't have physically time to recover from them because you go on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, then you can often feel kind of spacey or tired or overwhelmed is what I used to say. So in the book, she talks a lot about this spacey thing, and I'm like, And then it happened the other day and I'm like, oh, this is when I decide I feel overwhelmed. So typically when you're having an anxiety response or episode or attack, there's three things that happen. And again, mostly on a subconscious level. You think there's something to be afraid of. You start doing what ifs. Well, what if this and what if that? And making contingency plans. I know for me, I'm always making contingency plans for myself, right? And then the third is, what is wrong with me? Why am I so tired? Why am I not doing the things I want to do? Why don't I feel well? Why am I depressed? So those are the three major things. And what I find is a lot of times on that hamster wheel with the anxiety they don't even realize is happening, then I become really tired. I mean, I'm a good 10-hour a night sleeper, right? So I sleep. That's how I recover from my anxiety. So anticipatory stress is another one where you anticipate something that is going to be dangerous for you. And then you create a lot of energy around it, right? That's another one that's a big one for me. I didn't realize that I was doing that as much as I was. What are some gifts from this work that I've been doing on the anxiety? What have I learned that have been a positive things for me? Well, one is not caring so much about what other people think. I didn't realize that so much in my life I was comparing myself to others, or trying to make other people happy, or making sure that everything looked right, right? I also learned the difference between guilt and responsibility. So I was doing things often because I felt like I should, or I probably should do that, or it would be good to do that, rather than what is my responsibility and what am I inspired to do? Coming from responsibility maybe, or even being inspired, those things don't create anxiety for me. Certain triggers. There's certain people that trigger me more than others, and certain personalities, and there are certain situations that trigger me. So I understand that I'm a sensitive person. I've always been really sensitive. So how do I use that sensitivity for good? Using those gifts of sensitivity to be present with people, to calm, to relax, and to understand what's going on inside of my body, what I'm doing, and take a deep breath and try to be more present for myself and others. It opens up more vulnerability in your life, at least it has for me, but it's also created a bigger sense of intimacy for me. So whether it's with David or with friends or even with myself, it's that ability to go deeper and be more comfortable and calm in the present and be there now. The other thing is reasonable expectations. I didn't realize I didn't have very reasonable expectations, right? So if I decide I'm going to do a video today, I don't have to worry about what it is. Do I look like, how do I look exactly? Or am I showing up like Brene Brown? I can just show up like Laurie and come and talk to you about what I'm thinking and feeling and learning around anxiety. So setting realistic expectations. So if any of this rings true for you and you want to explore anxiety a little bit deeper, give me a call or drop comments in the comments below. If you think somebody would enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and maybe share it with them. And as always, I'm here if you need me, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take a deep breath. No anxiety. We'll figure out how to minimize anxiety and how to recover from it a little quicker. Talk to you later.